Persians. Choral Ode 1 by Aeschylus. Translated by Mark Will. Of the Persians, gone to the land of Hellas, these here are called the most faithful, the guardians by seniority of the wealth and the gold-rich thrones, whom himself Lord Xerxes, king, son of Darius, elected to oversee the territories. Yet as regards the return of the king and his gold-rich army, my soul, already an evil prophet, is much distressed within. For all Asiatic-born strength has gone, yelping after the young master, and neither messenger nor horseman returns to the capital of the Persians. Abandoning Susa and Ecbatana and the ancient wall of Kisia, they went forth, some on horses, some in ships, some on foot, presenting a formation of war. Such are Amistris and Artaphernes, and Megabates and Astaspes, commanders of Persians, kings subject to the great king. They push on, overseers of a massive army, archers and horsemen, fearful to see, terrible in battle, with steadfast determination of will. Artembares too, the charioteer, and Masistres, and the bowman Gudameus, and Pharendakes, and horse-driver Sostanes. And others the great and many-feeding Nile sent forth. Susascanes, Egyptian-born Pegastagon, and the Archon of holy Memphis, great Arsames, and Ariomardos, guardian of Ogygian Thebes, and marsh-dwelling rowers of ships, terrible and countless in number. And there follows a throng of luxurious Lydians, and those who generally oppress the mainlanders, those whom Metrogathes and brave Arctaeus, regal commanders, and gold-rich Sardis sent forth riding in many chariots, in double and triple ranks, a fearful sight to behold. Those living near holy Tmolos also pledged to cast the yoke of slavery on Hellas. Mardon, Tharabus, thunderbolts of the spearhead, and the javelin-darting Mysians. Babylon, too, the gold-rich, sends a mixed host in a long line, some mounted upon ships, and some trusting in bow-drawn intention. The sword-bearing tribe of all Asia follows the dreadful pomp of the king. And the flower of the Persian land goes forth, the men for whom the entire Asiatic earth, teeming, groans with fierce regret. And fathers and their bedfellows, counting the days, tremble at the lengthening of time. And already has the city-destroying army of the king passed into the neighboring land on the opposite shore, exchanging for a cable-bound raft the ferry of Athamantus Heli, casting a well-nailed roadway as a yoke on the neck of the sea. And the furious ruler of many-peopled Asia against the entire earth drives his brilliant flock in two divisions, on foot and from the sea, having put his trust in strong, rough generals, God-equal man of a gold-born race. And gazing darkly with his eyes, the look of a deadly dragon, with many hands and many ships, and racing his Syrian chariot, he urges against spear-famous men, bow-subduing Ares. And none is able, withstanding a great stream of warriors, to shut in with strong enclosures the invincible wave of the sea. Peerless are the army and people of the stout-hearted Persians. By the gods, Moira has ruled since the ancient time, and she decreed for the Persians the pursuit of tower-destroying wars, and the turmoil of fighting horsemen, and the sacking of cities. And they learned as the wide open ocean turned to white foam with the furious wind, to look upon the sacred grove of the sea, trusting their finely wrought cables and their people-transporting machines. but the crafty deceit of deity. What mortal man will escape it? Who with swift foot overleaps it, fortunately springing up? For Atta kindly entices mortal man into her nets, from which it is not permitted that he may escape unharmed. Thus is my black-clad heart lacerated with fear, alas, for the Persian campaign, lest the polity learn that the great capital of Susa is empty of men, and the battlements of Kissia, echoing, will sing, alas, the women-filled crowd this word crying out, and there will be tearing of fine linen robes. For all the cavalry and the infantry, like a swarm of bees, have left the hive with the captain of the army, crossing the headland joined from both sides, jutting into the sea, common to either continent. And marriage beds, for want of husbands, are filled with tears. Each Persian woman, overly mournful with man-loving longing, having sent away her furious spear-armed consort, is left yoked alone.